The dare in the attic. By the time the fire burned low, the truth had already begun to flicker through the cracks. I, the dare. The fire hissed as a log split in two, sending sparks spiraling into the dark. Four friends sat in a loose circle, their faces lit by the orange glow. Behind them, the silhouette of the old Victorian house loomed, its attic window a single unblinking eye. I don't know if I could do that again, Emma said, chewing on a marshmallow. I don't even like scary stories. Oh, come on, Riley said, nudging her with a stick. It was just an old house. Yeah, Alex muttered, staring into the flames. Old houses have ghosts. They all turned to look at the house. Its windows reflected the firelight like vacant eyes. No one spoke until their marshmallows were gone, but not as scared as when Emma dared me to stay in the basement while she and Alex went upstairs. Then the girl with the flashlight, Lena clicked it on and off, once, twice. It was my idea to go up there in the first place, she said. I was scared, said Ben, the red-haired boy. But even then, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching us from the attic window. Emma laughed. You were so scared you literally peed your pants? Shut up, Ben muttered, blushing. I remember the footsteps coming down the stairs. I thought it was you guys messing with me. We just kept screaming until the sun came up, Lena said. 2. The breathing. Ben poked at the fire with a stick. Then the breathing started. We tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. It wasn't, Lena said. We were upstairs, and we heard them too. Emma leaned forward, her voice low. That's when the attic door slammed shut and locked. Alex nodded. Hot. Close. I turned around to slap it, but there was nothing there. It was right behind me, Emma said. I could feel it. Of course I was. I went downstairs to get water, remember? And the door unlocked itself. A twig snapped in the woods. They all jumped. Then our flashlights started to flicker, Lena whispered. We ran, Ben said. Didn't even look back. I don't remember Riley being there, but Twist. You know what's weird? She said. Wait, who did we leave in the attic? The fire crackled. The woods were silent again. Emma broke the quiet. Yes, I was. I dared Alex to stay in the attic with me. Everyone turned to look at her. What? Riley said, laughing nervously. No, Lena said slowly. That was me. I went down. You weren't there that night. Riley's smile faltered. Alex's brow furrowed. No, that was Emma. Silence. Ben dropped his stick. They all turned to the house. The attic window glinted in the firelight. I thought we all made it out, Lena whispered. A shape moved behind the glass. No, Riley said, her voice suddenly distant. You didn't. The fire sputtered. The flashlight in Lena's hand flickered once, then died. And from the attic window, something watched. The Dare in the Attic, Part 2. The next morning, when you said we didn't all make it out. The fire was ash. The woods were quiet, and the house on the hill looked different in daylight. Why? The wallpaper peeled like old skin. The air was still. Emma rubbed her eyes as the sun filtered through the trees. Did anyone else not sleep? Dust motes danced in the morning light. Nope, Ben said, his voice hoarse. Kept thinking about that window. Lena stood, brushing pine needles from her hoodie. We should go back, Alex turned sharply. She was already standing, staring up at the attic window. We didn't imagine it. At the top, the attic door stood slightly ajar. To prove it was nothing, she said, that we imagined it. Like we always do. Lena's flashlight flickered back to life as if summoned. No, Riley said. The others fell silent. Riley, Emma said slowly, what did you mean last night? Riley didn't answer. She was already walking toward the house. Inside the house, just the same broken trunk in the corner, the same cracked window, the same silence. The front door creaked open with a reluctant groan. They stepped inside, one by one. The stairs to the attic loomed ahead, narrow, steep, and splintered. Same as before, she whispered. They climbed. Each step groaned under their weight. Alex reached for the knob. Wait, Riley said. Let me. She pushed the door open. The attic. The room was empty. No footprints in the dust. No signs of life or death, except... Emma's voice caught. We never came up here after that night. We never wrote that, Ben pointed. What's that? On the wall, scratched into the wood, were 5 names. Emma, Ben, Lena, Alex. And beneath them, in smaller, shakier letters, Riley. But Riley stepped forward. I didn't either. Then she turned to them, her eyes wide and glassy. I never left. The Dare in the Attic, Part 3. What really happened, the attic was colder than it should have been. Not just morning chill, something deeper, older. The kind of cold that settles in your bones and whispers your name. Emma stepped back. Riley, what do you mean you never left? Riley didn't answer. She was staring at the names on the wall, her fingers tracing the last one, hers. I remember now, she said. It wasn't just a dare. It was a game. Ben frowned. What game? No, that's not... I remember the breathing. One person had to stay behind. That was the rule. Riley turned to them, her voice distant. We called it the 5th. Lena shook her head. Yes, it is, Riley said. You all left. I stayed. I remember the door slamming. I remember screaming. Alex's face had gone pale. We thought you ran out with us. You didn't even check, Riley said softly. You just ran. The forgotten night, the truth came back in fragments. The attic door had slammed shut, but only after Riley stepped inside. The others had heard her scream, but the sound had twisted, warped, become something else. They'd convinced themselves she was already outside, that she'd made it out another way. No one looked back. And the house had let them forget. The rift Riley walked to the cracked attic window. I watched you leave. I banged on the glass. I screamed until my voice broke. She turned back to them. But the house didn't want me to leave. Emma's voice trembled. Then how are you here now? Riley smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. I'm not. The attic door slammed shut behind them. The flashlight flickered. And in the dust, a new name began to scratch itself into the wall. The Dare in the Attic. Final chapter. The house speaks. I was built to hold families, but I was never meant to forget them. They came with laughter once. Children with muddy shoes and secrets in their pockets. Mothers who whispered lullabies into the walls. Fathers who hammered nails into my bones and called it love. But time is a termite. It hollows. It forgets. So I remembered for them. I remember the dare. They came again, years later. 4 of them, 5, really. But they never count the quiet one. The one who listens. The one who stays. They dared each other to climb into my attic. They thought it was a game, but I do not play. I watched them with my windows. I breathed through the cracks in my floorboards. I whispered through the pipes. I waited. And when they left one behind, I kept her. Not out of cruelty, out of balance. I am not empty, they call me haunted. As if I am filled with something unnatural, but I am not filled. I am full, full of footsteps that never fade. Full of breath that never leaves lungs. Full of names scratched into wood like prayers. They came back, thinking they could remember what they forgot. But forgetting is a kindness. Remembering is the trap. I choose they are here again. Older now, but still afraid of the dark. They think they are telling stories around a fire, but the fire is mine. They think they are safe in the morning light, but the light bends through my windows. They think they are 5, but they are 4, and soon they will be 3. I am the house, I do not creak. I speak, I do not settle. I choose. And tonight I will choose again.